My name is Amy Zervos, and I've been attending St. John's for about a year and a half, and I was just chrismated during Pascha last year. My religious background is basically Protestant. So growing up, I attended different denominations within Protestantism. So I had grown up in a Presbyterian church. We went to a Nazarene church for a little bit of time. But most recently, I spent about the last 20 years as a member of an evangelical church. So when I first learned about Orthodoxy, when I met my husband in 1998, I didn't know anything. I'd never heard of Orthodoxy. So I came from a town in West Virginia where, I guess Morgantown would probably have been the closest, over an hour away, but did not know anything about Orthodoxy or what it meant or the theology behind it. It was beautiful. So coming from a Protestant background, the service was so different. The incense and the chanting, it was beautiful. Just there was so much to take in the first time I went. It was overwhelming in a good way. So it was hard to concentrate on any one thing, especially in the service. So that's all I remember thinking, wow, this is beautiful. Everyone is so friendly. Everyone wants to talk and ask, how are your relatives doing and how the kids doing. So it's always been very warming and welcoming, not uncomfortable at all. Right, so I remember thinking I wanted to know truth. I wanted to find a true faith because I didn't recognize truth anymore. So truth in the world was changing based on what society felt was right or wrong. And even what was happening in churches, and it didn't feel right because truth by its nature is unchangeable. So I just felt like it can't be truth, it's changing. So that's what I was looking for, something that was the same and has always been the same. In the beginning of Divine Liturgy, before the Eucharist, before Holy Communion, it's just very solemn and it's very intentional. And I wanted to know why. What is this preparation? What's going on before the Holy Communion? And that's when I started asking questions. And that's when I started researching Orthodoxy and realizing the history. And as a Protestant, you aren't taught. You aren't taught the history of the Mother of God. You aren't taught the history of the saints. You aren't taught the history of the early church. Favorite thing about St. John's, the people. I love the people. So welcoming. And when I moved here, I really didn't have really any friends here, and came here, and now they're like family, for sure. Father Demetrius was pivotal in coming back because he was genuine and he really cared about me and my family and our attendance and being in church, because he knew if I would come, then I would embrace it. The unchangeable nature of Orthodoxy, that is big for me, that it doesn't change. It's the same. It's been the same when Christ gave it to the apostles through hundreds of years of persecution to the separation from all the different sects. It's the only faith that's never changed.